Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi, and this lovely vehicle right here is the 2022 Kia EV6 GT-Line Package 1 all-wheel drive, long range, and snow white pearl. So that was a mouthful, and just like the name, there is a lot going on with this vehicle. We don't have enough time to focus that all in one video, and I know you do not want to see an hour-long video of this car. So we're focusing this video on the tech and the safety. There's a lot of tech and safety in this car. We do this on almost all our vehicles, so stay tuned and watch our previous videos if you want to see anything else. We do tons of Kia and Hyundai content as well too. So starting off with the front grille, actually, you'll see the razor sharp LED headlights. So full LEDs on this vehicle, even the tail lights are LEDs. You will have no problem seeing at night, fog, anything. It's perfect. Also on the front grille, there's a lot of tech integrated into the grille. So right smack dab in the center underneath the eye on Kia, you have a camera. That's going to be your front parking camera. Also works with your 360 camera. So I will show you that once we hop inside. It's easier to see than to explain. Down here you have a radar plate. So this works with your forward collision avoidance, your smart cruise control, so you're following distance. It is a really cool feature to have because not only does it work with just a regular collision, but forward collision avoidance also works in junction turns. So if you're making a left in a busy intersection, you can pick up people coming, oncoming, and also as you're changing lanes on the highway as well too. So very cool feature to have. These little circles on the front grille, it might be a little hard to see with the white paint, but those are your front parking sensors. So as you approach, whether it's a wall or a vehicle, anything stationary or moving, it will pick it up and it'll give you an audible alert. If you continue to move closer and closer, it will brake for you. So that is something you can turn off. You can turn off the noise. Not everybody likes the radar beeping, but it is very nice to have. Coming along the side here, you will also see around the wheel wells, you still have your sensors there as well too. So it's also going to sense things from the side. If you have a very tight, narrow driveway, it'll help you navigate where you're looking. And then that's another time when the 360 camera comes in really handy. Coming along to the mirrors over here, we have a camera built in to your bottom of your mirror. So as you signal a lane change on the highway, or if you're just turning on the street, it'll actually give you a live feed footage of what's in your blind spot. And that's also a camera that builds your 360 camera. So a complete overview of the vehicle. Side handles are pretty cool too. That's not tech or safety, but it is cool, I like to say. Another thing with your mirrors, you do have blind spot detection. So very often when you're driving, you'll see cars' mirrors light up a nice amber or red light. So the Kia EV6 does have that available as well. With that, you also have blind spot collision avoidance. So if I was signaling a lane change on the highway and I continue to go change lanes, there's a car in there, it will direct me back into my original lane with opposing brake force. Come around to the side here, or the back here. More radar sensors. So we mentioned the ones in the front. You have them on the wheel wells for the back as well too. So reversing into spots. You have them all along the back bumper, so a couple of them there. If you do own this vehicle and you live in Canada where we have snow, it's always important to wipe the snow off there as well too. In the back here, follows all throughout. And even in the black part of the bottom, they changed the sensors to black. So they're not too noticeable. It's a very sleek look. It's not clunky or anything. This particular trim does have a power tailgate, so I'd consider that tech. And with Kia, their power tailgates also work with your key fob. So if I had the key on me and I walked up to it, stand there for 3 seconds, the car will beep 3 times. It'll actually open up automatically for you. So a lot of vehicles have that feature where you kind of kick underneath. And Kia's whole thought process to avoid that was, what if it's icy or snowy or just a slippery surface? Like this video bay is super slippery. I almost fall down walking around the cars. It's really nice to have that opening up feature. So also in the back, safety-wise, we do have a mobility kit. So I'm just going to move this around, lift that here, lift this bottom portion, and there's your tire mobility kit. So to get you back on the road right away. So it's nice that you get that. Another thing with the mobility kit, and I actually use this in my everyday life, you can use it, of course, if you experience a flat or anything wrong with your tire. But if you cycle or just go to the beach and you need to inflate something, it works there too. You don't need to buy an inflator. Little life hack. 3-in-1. Coming around to the side here again, everything repeats from the front or other side of the vehicle. Now we're going to take a look inside and discuss everything else this car has to offer. All right, so now we are in the EV6 GT-Line Package 1, and you'll see we'll do a quick walk, or not walk around, but pan around the interior. There's a lot going on in here too, so it's not just futuristic and funky outside. It goes for the inside as well too. You'll see some nice purplish fuchsia lighting. That is completely customizable, so this vehicle does have your ambient lighting. This trim and the trim line above are the only EV6s equipped with it, and I must say it's stunning. A lot of them have underglow, like not underglow, but in your foot bay, or is that even the word, foot bay, wherever your feet go, or even sometimes in the back as well too, that's where they'll do ambient lighting, or your door handles. But you get it built into the dash too, and these nice, really cool lines. So something you'll find in the EV6, it's all about the lines. You even look up here on the dash, it all translates, and I really like how they're all parallel with each other, so there's no kind of contrast or fighting going on there with the lines. Now back to tech. So you'll see we have two beautiful 12.3-inch Supervision clusters. So our dash is fully digital. You have your range displayed on the right, your speed displayed on the left, and then your driving info at the bottom. So your consumption, your energy consumption. You also have your battery and your amount of regen on the left here as well too. EV vehicles say ready when they're on, simply because, I mean, you can't really tell if the car is on without, there's no noise essentially. So I know the car is on, ready to roll. Something I really love about shooting EVs, so we can have them on, which is really cool. On the main dash here, this is going to be your media, your navigation, your everything. So even your driving controls, this is where you're going to go to access all that. So when you start the vehicle, this is what you're looking at. It'll give you a brief explanation of your range, your battery life, and what station you're listening to. So someone was listening to Diplo. Very cool. EV is just going to show you some of your EV driving habits and your EV menu essentially. But here's where we want to go. Setup and vehicle. And here you will see all of your driving settings. There's a lot going on here. Driving convenience is where you'll find a lot of your just convenient settings. Parking safety is something I really want to touch on. So there's a lot of sensors on this vehicle, like I showed you earlier, and a lot of cameras. A feature I really, really love, especially living where it's quite busy. If you're ever at a shopping mall or just anywhere where there's cars parked beside you, it can be really, really hard to see if there's anyone walking past, walking behind you guys. That's where your rear sensors really, really come handy. This vehicle will actually stop if it senses movement or even a car or a wall. If I were to back up, closing off on that wall back there, it'll stop for me if I keep going. So it'll warn you first, of course, but then it will emergency brake. Very helpful, very handy. Blind spot safety. This is where you'll see your blind spot view monitor. That's your camera. Your safe exit assist. So if I was parallel parking on a busy street and I go to open my door, but there's a car in the next lane, it'll lock the door for me. So kids, or even adults, sometimes you never know. It's a really nice feature to have. A lot of people don't think of that, but it is quite useful. And all these things you can turn off, or you can make them a warning only. All of these features, you can always change them later as well too. So if there's anything you don't like originally and you change your mind later on, you can go back to it. Lane safety is another big thing. So we have it on assist right now. This vehicle will actually steer for us. A lot of them just kind of give you an alert if you're about to depart your lane, but this will correct it gently and also take the curve of the road for you. So it's truly almost like an autopilot. Another thing this vehicle has is highway drive assist. So let's go over to there. Smart cruise control. Hang in there. Based on driving style, driving convenience. There we go. So highway drive assist. This is essentially Kia's version of an autopilot. It's going to slow down for you. It's going to pick up the changing speed limit. So if I was going in 90 and it switches over to 100 or even lower, it'll pick that up and change for you. It'll also know when there's a curve in the road and will guide you to slow down in the curve of the road. One thing with highway drive assist number 2 is it can actually change lanes for you as well too. So if I had that on and I was signaling my lane change, the car will do an automated lane change. It's very cool. And of course, with all your sensors, it's going to make sure that it's safe to do so. So it will only change when it's safe. It's not going to change instantaneous. And all that's hands-free. So you're slowing down is hands-free. You're picking back up to speed hands-free. Your steering's hands-free for a while. And then you need to give some driving input. So it's not a full autopilot. We're not there yet. No one's there yet. So you can see here your lane change assist and your automatic speed change. These are things you can turn off. If you don't like the automated lane change, just click it off. It's that easy. And then it's right back on. And that's something you can turn off as well too. If you do not like the driver assist, you'll still have your smart cruise control, which will slow down for you, and you can set your following distance. So a lot going on there. Now you may be thinking, it's a lot to go in there and turn on those features, right? You don't have to do that while you're driving. So that's where you'll go to customize your features or shut them off completely. But on the fly, you have all your driving features, or most of them, right over here. So Highway Drive Assist is super simple to use. When you do have it on, all you have to do is turn on your cruise control. If you're on a recognized highway, it's automatically on. You'll set your speed here, and then your following distance there for just regular cruise control. Your steering assistance is right over there. And then these, or this button over here, is going to actually cycle between your different driving info on your main cluster. So you can see your all-wheel drive torque distribution, where you're at in your lane, your actual trip odometer, and your navigation. So right now it's just a compass, but if I had a route set, it'll tell me my turn by turn, which is very, very handy because you don't have to take your eyes off the road really. Just give it a quick glance down and you're all good. Now we'll take a look over here again because I want to show you how you can change your ambient lighting. So we'll go here. It gives you a couple presets and it gives you the benefit as well too. So Peaceful Forest may help you to relax and replenish your energy. Who doesn't love that? So we'll give her a press and you'll see your lights turn green. I already feel my energy has been replenished and I feel very relaxed. So it truly does work. And then we'll close that. We have our climate controls too. So there's a really, really cool thing called automatic ventilation. What this will do is if you start getting fog on your windshield, it'll automatically get rid of it. Because sometimes I have that struggle with myself not knowing if I need to turn on the heat or the AC to get rid of it. So the car does it all for you, which is probably the best feature you could ask for, really. And we'll come down here as well too. This is techie, I would say. So this is going to be your climate control. When it's like this, you'll have your blue for cool, red for heat. But if I press it down here, I can cycle back to my media menus. So if I press map, it'll take me right back to my map on my main menu. Navigation will take me to my nav menu. Radio, for example, will get your radio and media as well too. So everything can be pressed there. You can also change the volume and whatnot on your steering wheel, which is quite useful because, let's face it, half the time you're not going to reach for your tune knob as you're driving. You'll do it all here. When you preset your radio stations, you can cycle between them with these knobs here as well too. Now we'll take a look in the main center console. So we have our power button there. That's not really techy or new, but it is a pretty cool ignition button. You have a shift-by-wire transmission, so that's actually quite fun. I'll hold down the brake and switch it over to drive. That's how it works. You'll see or you may have been able to hear that our e-brake just disengaged, and press P for park. Now here's where things get techy again. This is your parking camera. So I mentioned a 360 camera earlier. You press that if you want to see it, but it will automatically come up as soon as you put your car into reverse. So you see the 360 on the side there. We can see Mark, and then right behind us. Now you can change your camera view. So there's Mark's legs. If Mark gets a little bit closer to our mirror, we'll actually see him. So he'll do that. And you can truly see what's in your blind spot. The camera quality is fantastic as well too. This camera is new to Kia and it's quite cool. You can see where your car is exactly, and you can actually move it around. Now all of these, it's available at low speed, so if you're on the highway, it's not going to work. Just a safety thing, a distraction thing. I'm going to throw it into reverse, and we're going to get a little close to the wall so we can hear our sensors. Do you hear it? Maybe? You'll also see it's green back there, so that's telling me I'm getting close to something, but we're not quite there yet. Get a little closer, turns orange. A little closer again. Now it goes on my left side. Trust me, guys, we are not too close. The car will pick it up for you and keep you safe. Now I'm going to approach the wall ahead of us, and that is our front camera. So you can see this is really great if you have a tight parking space or a tight garage. And same thing. There's Mark with the door. You can see pedestrians, you can see walls, you can see fences, you can see anything, even garbage cans. That's another thing. My driveway, we always put our blue boxes and everything out at the end, and my car doesn't have this. I've hit in a couple blue boxes in my day, so it is quite nice to have these features. They're practical. That's your parking sensor button. So if you do not like the beeps you guys just heard, press that. Beeps are gone, but you'll still have your camera and everything, so you can still see around you. Another thing over here, I have my phone in our wireless phone charger. So you can see it says 56% charge. This amber light's on, meaning it's working. You want to make sure you actually put your phone in correctly. So if I have it like that, it's not going to charge. You have to do it correctly and give her a second. There we go. It's charged again. This is something you can turn off as well too. If for some reason you do not like the wireless charger, you can turn it off in your settings over there. Another thing that this vehicle has a lot of is USBs and USB-Cs. So right by Charlotte's foot, we have a USB-C, which is a very, very fast charger, and a USB on the left. That's going to be for your Apple CarPlay and your Android Auto. So it is wired in this specific vehicle. So another really techie thing this vehicle has to offer, or all our EV6 trims actually have this, is Kia Connect. So it's free for 3 years. Not sure how much it is after that. Never ran into it yet. We have our car essentially. So I drive a Kia, and I have my car saved. I can't show you it on the EV6 because I don't have an EV6 yet. But this is essentially what it looks like. It lets you name your car. Mine's Pearl Jam because it's white. Love Pearl Jam. You can start your engine, or you can start your vehicle if you're driving an EV. You can see its status, see if you left any doors unlocked, any windows open, just see if the vehicle's on. Another really cool thing, and something that our EV customers find most useful, is you can actually see your state of charge. You can target your state of charge. You can have it stop charging. You can have it start charging. You can check everything. It's amazing. Another cool thing is you can actually pre-start your car, or set it for a certain time, and have your climate and everything already going. So when you get into your car, it's ready to roll. So that's pretty cool. So before we close off today's video, I want to show you something pretty cool. So this trim level for the EV6 is equipped with remote smart park assist. So you see those 2 extra buttons on the back of the key there, and you also have remote start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remote start the car. You just press lock first, then you press and hold remote start. You're not going to hear an engine turn over, of course, because no engine, but you see our lights flash. So the car is now on. Now I'm going to press and hold the front one. Let's do front. Get a little bit closer. Lights turn on, and vehicle moves. It's pretty eerie. A lot of people ask, why would I ever use that? People that have tight garages and aren't always able to, slide in and make their way out of their car when they park. It is a fantastic feature for those kinds of people. Also, if you are parking in a very busy parking lot, like a mall during Christmas time, someone parks really close to you, have your car come out and greet you. It's pretty cool. It is very, very nice. And then of course you have all those sensors around your car, so it's not going to hit anything. It'll pick up stationary objects, moving objects. If I were to run past, we've actually done videos sacrificing ourselves. It will stop for you and make sure you're safe. So I hope you guys did like this video. If you have any questions about this vehicle in particular, or any other Kia or Hyundai product, leave them below in the comments. Stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.